Hello and welcome to another ImageShell video. In this video we're going to look at the shrinking features of ImageShell Resizer. So as always, the first thing you need to do is set your input folder. So I'll set that to 1, and your output folder, I'll set that to 2, and this is 1 and this is 2. If we look at 1, we'll see that I have 3 images. The size of this image is 1920 by 1280, and actually all 3 files are the same size. 1920 by 1280, 1920 by 1280. So I'm not going to do anything with the output file format or the rotation. I'm going to come to the size here, and there are a few things we can do here. So let's say that we want 50% of the height and 50% of the width. So I can write that in here, and we'll keep the value type as percentage, and we'll keep squeeze as a transform type. Now if I set it to this and if I run it, what I'm going to get is a file which looks exactly like the original file, except that the dimensions are half the height and half the width. So the picture will actually be a quarter of its original size, but it'll look exactly the same. Now if I don't keep the proportions the same, so instead of 50 and 50 I put 70 and 50, and I keep the transform type as squeeze, what I'm going to get is a skewed image. So I'll set that here, and let's take a look at the files. So here you can see it's a picture of flowers, and this one is a cabbage and the sunset. Now I've set the settings here. Let me run it. So this is the flower picture. You can see that the proportions have not been kept. This picture is now wider and narrower, as will all 3 be. Okay, the cabbage as well, and the sunset. So the proportions haven't been kept. I can shrink the pictures by coming here, and instead of the squeeze, I can set this to crop, and we'll do the same. We'll have set 70% and 50%, and I'll run that. Well, run it now, and here you can see now the picture, the dimensions of the picture are smaller, but the picture is not skewed because it's been cropped. So now you can see that the flowers, this part of the image exists in the larger image. It's not the same image which has just been squeezed. It's just a part of the previous image. So those are 2 ways you can shrink by using the percentages. You can also, of course, set a specific pixel size. So let's say you wanted 1000 by 1000 pixels. Now you'll remember that our original pictures are 1920 by 1280. So this is going to produce a square picture. It's not going to be a rectangle anymore. Of course, I have to change this percentage to pixels. And if I keep the squeeze, I'm going to get pictures which are not proportional. They'll be skewed. Let's take a look. You can see that the picture of the flowers are not proportional anymore. It's a square picture, but it's a skewed picture. And of course it applies to the cabbage and the sunset. The final option is to keep your pixels at 1000 by 1000 for this example. Value type pixels, and your transform type, we'll change that to crop. Run it, and if you look, it's a square picture this time, but the proportions have been kept. but the image isn't exactly the same as the original image. It's just a part of the original image. And those are the basic ways to shrink images using ImageShell Resizer. Thank you for watching.